Let's do the prayers. Om Gajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Mahadnisham Anekdantam Ekdantam Upasmahe Saraswati Namastuभ्यं Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right. In the last class, we were on the subject of pronunciation pitfalls. So let's go back to there, and there are a few questions, examples there, common pronunciation pitfalls. So we were on slide 8. Talking about pronunciations, to go back to a couple of questions we had on pronunciations last time, especially on transliteration. Question about for the va sound, whether it is V or W. Now, the sounds in Sanskrita, the vakara in Sanskrita was already there. And when they were adapted to English, they found two alphabets that closely matches that, V or W. So I think people randomly used V and W for the vakara of Sanskrita. For example, when we say Vishwanath or Vishwa or Vishwasa, it has two vakaras. In Sanskrita, they are both same. Whether Vishwanath, Vishwasa, both are same. There is only one vakara in Sanskrit. But you see generally when it is written in English, sometimes the first vakara is V and the second vakara will be W, a lot of times. Whenever somebody has a name Vishwas, they generally spell it as Vishwas. Same way Vishwanath generally seen is Vishwaanath. So both of these, where two V's are vakaras are there, they didn't use the same one. So it's just randomly used. But on the other hand, if you say words like Vasudeva, I have never seen anybody spelling Vasudeva as Vasideva. So the English transliteration V or W was randomly put at the fancy of whoever wrote it. The second lot of questions we come across in the pronunciation is the compound consonant ja followed or preceded by nya, like Sanjaya, nya followed by ja. Whereas the other one is jnana, ja followed by nya. Okay? So there are a lot of mispronunciations there. We will talk about that in a little more detail when we come to the pronunciation chapter in the textbook itself. So we were on this middle of this slide. I think we talked about this karmanyevadhikara, like where the words should be broken. The words should not be broken when in inappropriate place. This generally comes into play when we are chanting something and the end of the pada, suppose the middle of the line, or suppose it's a two-liner, like Anushtup. Anushtup has 8 letters per quarter or pada, and generally it is full verse is 32 letters. So if it's a two-liner in Anushtup, then the first line will be 16 aksharas, second line will be 16 aksharas. So most of the times, we give a pause at each pada or 8 letters. But sometimes, suppose the 8th letter and the 9th letter are connected by a samasa, then you are not supposed to break it in the middle, even if you get little out of right.
Can you share us the screen, please?
I thought I'm sharing the screen. Yeah,
Yeah, we are able to see the screen, right?
Yes, yeah, we can see the screen.
yeah, I'm sharing screen.
You can see the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now everybody can mute. Yeah, if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself and speak. Okay, so whenever the words, for whatever reason, you're not supposed to break it wherever you want, or just to get the symmetry, you can't break it like that, so the meaning will be totally lost. And we can see that all the time, especially when Swami TV chants a verse. He gives a pause at the quarter, but if the two quarters are connected by a samasa, he will just go to the end of that word before pausing, however long the word may be. Okay, that is the right way, especially when you are trying to understand the meaning. Okay, some of the examples, I think we talked about the akara and akara. Like, for example, a lot of words can start with a, but if you, by mistake, make it long I into short or short I into long, especially if you are writing it in English, then it may be mispronounced and hence misunderstood. A word starting with short a implies that it is something opposite or not something, like Shanti and Ashanti, not Shanti. Or Shoka, grief, Ashoka, no grief. Things like that. Whereas there are words starting with a also. A is a prefix, a, long a, it implies until or up to, like gives a range. You might have heard the name for one of the names for Sri Rama. It's not actually a name, it's a description of Sri Rama's physique. Is that he's called Ajanubahu. Now, if you, instead of Ajanubahu, I have seen people writing it as Ajanubahu. Now, Ajanubahu will be totally wrong. It's Ajanubahu. The word means that Janu is knees, Bahu is arm. Ajanubahu means the one who has long arms, almost reaching up to the knees. And for Kshatriyas, it's an added advantage. And I read somewhere that Ajanubahu physical feature is a lakshana of Chakravartis. Okay? And I gave a couple of other examples like Ase to Himachalam or Ase to Himalayam. So it gives a range. So if you make, for that matter, if you say Ajanubahu, then what does it mean? Ajanu means no knee. So that word doesn't make a sense then. So it has to be rightly written and rightly pronounced. Some more examples of similar sounding words when either you mispronounce or misspell it when you are writing, either in English or even in Devanagari. Then see what kind of catastrophical meaning it gives. One of the examples I have here is 4 similar sounding words. Arti, Arthi, Arati, Arati. I think everybody knows generally the meaning of all these things, even though while writing in English, a lot of things may be one spelling may be written for the other. Okay. Arti is pain. You know that's the Chaturveda, 4 types of bhaktas. The first one is Artha, one who remembers the gods only when he is in pain. So this Arti is a pain. And a lot of times people write Arti for Arati also. Now Arati is totally different thing. It's the lamp we use in the puja, the one that moves. Another similar thing or similar sounding word is Arthi. Arthi is one who is desirous of something. Okay, like Vidyarthi, one who is desire of knowledge or education. Moksharthi, one who is desire of a moksha. Okay. So arthi is the one who is desirous. And then another similar sounding word, arati. Arati means somebody who is not, arati is non-attachment or something similar to that. Okay, rati is getting involved or attached. So arati is getting not involved, non-attached. Okay, so there are 4 similar sounding words, but the meanings are all over, totally different. Another example, Rama and Rama. While writing in English, generally use the spelling both of them as R-A-M-A, R-A-M-A. Okay. But what do the names mean? We know that specifically Rama is a masculine name, Rama is a feminine name. Okay. Rama is a Dirghara and Raswama. Rama is Raswara and Dirghama. So Rama we know, the Sharatapstra Rama. Who is Rama? Where do we get? What kind of a meaning do we get from Rama?
Lakshmi.
Okay, so Rama is Lakshmi. Okay, so if you use the one spelling for the other, the meaning is totally lost. Same way, Shiva and Shiva. Now Shiva is Shiva, and Shiva is generally used for Shiva's wife, Parvati. But then we have words Krishna and Krishna. Where does now Krishna we know is the most popular person. What about Krishna? Feminine.
Draupadi is Krishna.
Draupadi is Krishna. Okay. Now here I think both the names come as a anvartha-nama because of the color. Okay, darker color. Okay, but then because Shiva is Shiva's wife, Krishna is not Krishna's wife. Another big difference with the same spelling is in English is Mala and Mala. Okay, just like Rama and Rama, Mala and Mala. If somebody is writing in English, most likely he will write M-A-L-A for both. Okay, but we know that Mala is something inauspicious, some kalmasha or impurity, things like that. Whereas Mala generally has an auspicious meaning of a garland. Same way, yesterday in the last class, we talked about the word Vipa. And it is one of the names for elephant because it can drink through 2 organs. And a question came up about Dvipa. Now we know that Dvipa is, what is a Dvipa?
Island.
Dvipa is an island. Okay. Now you see that both the words start with the Dvi, so it has something to do with the 2. So Dvipa is an island because if you draw a line, go a straight line, you go from water to water. Okay, so it's a Dvi plus Apa, and there's some other rules come in. Okay, so it is like a landmass surrounded in all directions with the water. Another pair of words, Kurmaha and Kurmaha. What is Kurmaha? Anybody?
A turtle.
I'm talking about the first one.
Oh, first one.
Yeah, what that is short ku.
Kurma. Oh.
Kurma. Is that what we eat?
Is it
Is that
Is
what
it-
we eat? Kurma?
food?
No. That I don't know. I haven't checked, but I don't think it originated from Saṁskṛta. I could check whether it has been. Okay. Now, Kurmaha is not a noun. Kurmaha is noun, of course. Turtle or tortoise, that is the Kurma. We know that, especially from Matsyavatara, Kurma Avatara. Kurma is a turtle. But this short ku, Kurmaha, it is not even a noun. It is a verb. Okay. So Kurmaha is that we do. Okay, like Uttama Purusha, first person, Bahuvachana. Okay, Vayam Kurmaha, we do, we all do. Okay, so it's a Bahuvachana Kriyapada, to do, the kṛdātu to do, and in the present tense, Uttama Purusha, first person, and Bahuvachana, that is the Kurmaha. But they sound so similar, and if you are writing in English, you might spell them the both way, but then if you are writing in English with the diacritic marks, then you won't have any mistake. But otherwise, if you don't have the diacritic to indicate the dirgha u for kurmaha, then it will be misunderstood. Another more fatal mistake is Shraddha and Shraddha. Okay, we know Shraddha is generally, it's a terminology generally used as belief, but it has a lot more positive intonation than just belief. Shraddha, generally people say Shraddha is faith pending verification. Okay. Whereas Shraddha is something, some ritual that is done for the departed souls. So the meanings are totally different. And I put ... because the last three I just added after the last class. So whenever I come across something, there's still some half a line of space, I will fill that. There's no dearth of examples for this mispronunciation. Now here, most of the things are related to Hraswa and Dirgha. Okay. Let's look at some of these similar sounding ones with respect to Alpa Prana, Mahaprana. Okay. There is a word asti and there is a word asti. Okay. Asti is a kriyapada. Asti, something exists or is it present? We hear the words in paired with bhati, asti, bhati, priyam. Okay. So that asti is exists. What is asti with mahapranatha?
Bones.
Bones. Okay. So that is where we gave asti visarjanam when somebody passes away to the asti visarjanam, asti panjara, the skeleton. Okay. So that is bone. See where we are going from asti existence to asti skeleton. Another similar, this is not, another similar pair of words with a Alpa Prana, Mahaprana difference is Sangha and Sangha. Okay. We in the Vedanta classes, we hear about the word Vishaya Sangha, attachment to the sense objects. Okay. So this Sangha is attachment, getting attached to or getting engaged in. And we also hear about the word Sangha with Mahaprana. What does that mean? It's
Group.
Group of people, like in Buddhism they have sangha.
okay. Okay, the Sangha is like an assembly or a group of people or group of things.
Association.
So the
Association.
yeah, association, or it's more like assembly. Like especially in Vedantic circles, when you say Bhuta Sangha, is like the body is made up of the Panchabhutas, assemblage. Okay, so Sangha is like an assemblage, something assembled. Okay, another word I recently came across, or pair of words, Vadaha and Vadaha. Okay, so Vada with Da Alpa Prana is the speaker, one who speaks, comes from the Vadu Dhatu to speak. Okay, whereas Vadaha means killing. Okay, this Vadaha we see very often, especially in regional newspapers and other things, like a killing, murder, that is the Vadaha. Another pair, or 1, 2, 3, 4 words which sound similar is Medas, Me and Alpa Pranada, Medas is the Sanskrit word for fat, which is neutral, napumsakalinga. A similar sounding word, there is Medha, which is a root vegetable. I think maybe some kind of a ginger family. That it must be a Strilinga, okay, Da Alpaprana and Dirghada. And then there is Medha, okay, Mahapranatha. And this, we will know that Ashwamedha, this kind of yaga, name of yaga where some sacrificial activities are involved. Okay. And then we also know about the commonly used word Medha. What is that Medha?
Memory, intelligence.
Medha, okay. So memory, Medha Dakshinamurti.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is Medha, memory. Because I didn't give the meaning there because everybody knows that word. Medha is memory or buddhi. Another common pair of similar sounding words, this is not Alpaprana Mahaprana, but the difference in between the two shakaras. Yesterday in the last class we talked about for a few seconds at least with respect to Sha and Sha, the षण्मुखा and the Śāṅkara-bhāṣya. So the Vishaya, there are two Vishayas. One Vishaya with the षण्मुखा is like the topic or subject matter. Okay, if you're talking about something, say physics is a Vishaya, chemistry is a Vishaya, Vedānta is a Vishaya, like that. The other Vishaya with the Śāṅkara or the Shakti-sha is doubt. Okay, so that is not very commonly seen. The Vishaya subject matter with the षण्मुkhasha is very commonly encountered, but Vishaya as a doubt, like in a question answer session, this is like if there is a discussion between a Purvapakshi and Siddhanti, then this raising the doubt, that is one of the steps of the Vada. So this there it is the doubt, raising the doubt, is that is the Vishaya with the Śāṅkara-bhāṣya. Then similar sounding 4 words there. Sakti. Somebody has a question?
Yeah, so in Vedanta, we also use the word Vishaya for worldliness, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That is the same thing, because there it is Vishaya because those are the objects of senses.
Okay.
Okay. So whereas when you're talking about a subject matter, that is the object of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is how it is Vishaya, this is the subject matter. So another 3 or 4 different words which sounds like kind of similar, like say Sakti and Shakti. This is the difference between the Saraswati-sa and the Śāṅkara-bhāṣya. So Sakti is interest, whereas Shakti is power or strength. Okay. And
Jagdishji, what is Sakti?
Sakti is
Asakti, like Asakti.
Asakti is the extra interest. Sakti is general interest.
Interest. Oh, okay.
Okay. Asakti is like a deep interest. Whereas Shakti is power or strength, and opposite of that is Ashakti and Asakti. Okay. So Ashakti is weakness, opposite of Shakti. Asakti is not interested in, like being indifferent, Asakti. And Asakti is opposite of Asakti. So it's like a more Sakti. So it's a deep interest, Asakti. Okay. Another pair of words which sound similar is Sabala and Shabala. Okay. Sabala with the Saraswati-sa is one with strength. Okay. Bala is strength. Sabala is something or somebody with strength. Whereas Shabala is a word to indicate impurity, something which is contaminated. Okay. And this way, Alpa Prana, Mahaprana are also, there are a lot of examples. I just put 2 bullet items for that. And we can get a lot of examples for this. Very slight changes in pronunciation where the meaning goes awfully wrong. Any questions on this pronunciation pitfalls?
Can you give an example for a sentence with Sakti, just Sakti?
Uh,
I never heard of it.
yeah, but I have to find something for Shakti, okay? So, Sakti,
Uh-huh.
let me see.
Asakti is in Bhagavad-Gītā in 13th chapter,
Yeah,
9. Asakti ranas bishwanga putra darigraha dishu. Means
yes.
sense of ownership.
Ownership, so interest or attachment.
Yes.
Okay, that is Asakti. Lack of it is Sakti.
Okay, thanks.
Or absence of detachment. That means attachment or interest is Sakti.
Okay.
Okay, so, I can't make up a sentence on the spot, but you get the meaning of the word.
Okay, thanks.
That's a good question. Sabal, I didn't get that quite right. Sabal and Shabal.
Okay, Sabala. Now, see again the pronunciation when it is written as Sabala, you have to pronounce the la fully. Okay,
Okay.
Sabala is with the strength.
Okay.
Bala is strength, right?
Right.
Okay, Sabala means with the strength.
Okay.
Whereas Shabala has a totally different meaning. It has nothing to do with Bala. Okay, Shabala is an impurity. The words were derived from two different directions, from different sources.
So is it because of a sa and a sha, there is a different prefix? Different prefix makes a different meanings.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is not from prefix.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one may be from prefix because it is a samasa. It is a compound word, sabala. Whereas shabala is not a compound word. So sha there is not a prefix. That is why I said shabala is not derived from bala.
And I think my basic problem is I always say sabal, shabal. So you're saying I should complete say sabala, not
Yes,
la.
I know. Hindi may be your mother tongue, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, mix up everything, Marathi, Gujarati, Hindi, everything. But
Yeah.
what I feel like if there was a long A, like a la,
Yeah.
then I would say sabala.
Yeah, then you make it extra long.
So could you make it like a one sabal, sabala, and sabala? How do you make a difference?
Okay. In Sanskrita, there will not be a word saying sabal.
Okay.
If it is sabal, then it will be indicated by a what we call as a halanta.
Halanta word. Okay.
Okay, if you see here, I highlighted word balam.
Yeah.
That ma has a shoe underneath, right? That means it is balam. It is not balama.
Okay.
If that shoe were not there, I should pronounce it as balama.
Balama.
Okay. Not long, but short. But sabal means there is no, if you are writing in English, sabal, you will write S-A-B-A-L without an A at the end.
Right.
Okay. But the absence of a shoe for the lakara in the word here means that there, if you are writing in English, there is an A at the end.
Got it. Okay.
So it has to be pronounced as sabala. And if you want to make it sabala, then the A has to have a dash on top.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Now sabala is most likely it is a masculine or neuter. Whereas if you make it sabala, it will become feminine, just like Shiva and Shiva.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Thank you for beautiful explanation. I never got that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you know, from that I could say that this is the effect of your mother tongue on reading Sanskrita letters.
And Jagdishi,
yeah,
on Saṁskṛta, that word on the top of the sa dot is there. Here Sangha, why they written like this? They put the top of the dot that they can write a ga.
Yeah. It is the right way of writing, and we will discuss that what causes it when we come to the Vyanjana Sandhi at the end of book 2. then you will know why Sanskritam is written like that, whereas Sangha is written with Ga. Okay, there is a grammatic rule. Okay, whenever there is a nasal, if it is followed by one of the group consonants, the nasal has to be that group consonant. That's why Sangha and Sangha, both of them have na before that. Okay, whereas you can see that the sa is not one of the group consonants, so it follows a different rule. Therefore, you can see that in sandhi, it is a na there, nakara, not na, because the na, they belong to the same group. Okay, so that is the reason why Sangha is na, sandhi is na, Saṁskṛta is anuswara.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if there is no further questions on pronunciation pitfalls, and there may be questions, you might come across something, and you can bring it up among yourself or bring it up in the class, which one is right, what one, both of them may be right, but which meaning it should be used. Okay, next, going to the next item. Let me see if this works. Okay, now I think you can see it bigger. Okay, next item, because we are into pronunciation, sandhi. Sandhi has something to do with the pronunciation. Sandhi, the English definition will be euphonic joining of the letters. Okay, euphonic is like making it easier to say. In Sanskritam, the sandhi is defined as mukha sukhartham, for the purpose of convenience of our mouth. Okay, sukha, for the convenience of pronunciation. So the sandhis are made so that the letters that are close together can be pronounced easily. When we discuss the sandhis, then you will realize, even though there are so many sandhis and sandhi rules, but you will realize that, oh, if the rules sandhis were not there, it would be difficult or much slower to speak the same two words. Okay, and nearly maybe 75% of the volume 2 book. Volume 2 is the book we are going to cover after this slideshow is over. We are going to go to volume 2 of Medhaji's books. And volume 2, most of it, like maybe 75 to 80% of the book covers the sandhis. So sandhis, again, it is for ease of pronunciation when the letters are close together. So two letters join and can generate a new letter. Or two letters close together, or two sounds close together are pronounced as a different sound. So sandhis, based on what is going to be changed, what change occurs between the sounds, the sandhis are classified as 3 sandhis. So the names are pretty self-explanatory. Swara sandhis, where the two vowels come close to each other and result in a new vowel. Okay, like for example, you have the word Rama. You already saw the word Rama, Lakshmi, and Ishaha. Okay, here you can say in the meaning of husband. Okay, so you have the word Rameshaha. Rama, the long A at the end of Rama, and the E on the beginning of the Isha, they combine to become Ramesha. So, because A is a vowel, swara, E also is a vowel, so they are called that kind of a sandhi where the two changes happen in the vowels is called a vowel sandhi or swara sandhi. Okay. Same way, when a one or two vyanjanas, vyanjana is the consonant. So swara is the Saṁskṛta term for a vowel in English. Vyanjana is the Saṁskṛta term for consonant in English. Okay. So swara sandhi, vyanjana sandhi, where at least one of the two participating letters is vyanjana, and the other one is visarga sandhi. Visarga sandhi is specific to visargas, where a visarga is involved and it undergoes a change. That is a visarga sandhi. we might start with the Visarga Sandhi, then go to Swara Sandhi, and then Vyanjana Sandhi. That is how the topic is covered in the textbook. So we will follow the same way. So, as I said, all the three sandhis we are going to discuss in great detail. And this is one of the very fundamental, useful thing to learn. After pronunciation, sandhis are the most important things. And once you understand the sandhi, then you will know about this karmanyeva-adhikaras, why we can't break there. Okay. Any questions about sandhis? Of course, we are going to spend a lot of time on the sandhis. All three different types of sandhis later on in the book.
Are you going to cover like in a style of Medhaji? Is it like a Pāṇini based or just a regular?
No, we will follow Medhaji's book.
Okay.
Almost verbatim. It is better that way.
Yeah.
And whenever any reference to Pāṇini, sutras or other things come, I will bring that up, because one of the objective of this course is also for some students, this will act as a stepping stone into in-depth study of Pāṇini. So objective here is to create some interest in the students to get into the Pāṇinian system. Okay?
Yeah, because you know you had a Ashtadhyayi also part of curriculum. That's why I was asking.
Yes.
Mhm.
In the pronunciation and maybe Visarga Sandhi, we won't mention much about Pāṇini Sutras, but Swara Sandhi and Vyanjana Sandhi, we will bring up Pāṇini Sutras. And before that, I might have one or two classes giving you some idea about the Pāṇini's, the principles, basic principles, what he used.
Great. Thank you.
So, because we can't straight away jump into the sutras. Like, for example, any sutra is like a formula in physics, for example. You can't just say F equals MA without explaining what F means. F is force, what is units, all those things.
Yeah.
Equality means, what M mass means, all those things. So that background has to be given before we discuss a Pāṇini Sutra per se. Yes, we will discuss Pāṇini Sutra in a lot more details in the second part of the Sandhis and the other two books. We will talk about Pāṇini Sutras.
Thank you.
Another interesting fact, feature, this is nothing to do with the pronunciation, but in Saṁskṛta has some features where a single letter might mean multiple words. If you have to replace that letter either in Saṁskṛta or in English language, you may have to use two or more words to explain that. So some of those is pretty interesting feature. Some are you can find in English, but not the ones at the end, like a suffix kind of thing. To give you some examples, so it'll be clearer when we talk about some examples. So the examples of a and a in the beginning of a word, we already talked about. A indicates the opposite or absence or shortage of something. We said about Shakti and Ashakti, Sakti and Asakti, opposites. This A is a negative indicator, just like in English, you have A, letter starting with A. For example, symmetry and asymmetry. The same purpose here also for the A, opposite. Okay. Whereas A is indicating a range from this point to that point. We talked about A and A. Now, if a word ends with a ga, okay, certain words, if it ends with the ga, so that means something that goes with. Ga comes from the gam dhatu, gam to go. Okay. Like for example, you might have heard the words like uraga. Ura is body, uraga is generally used for snakes that crawl. They use the whole length of their body for going or movement. Okay. And then you might have heard the word like khaga. What is khaga?
A bird,
A bird. Why did it get that name?
because ga is a movement and kha is in akasha.
Ekaśeṣa. Okay. So khaga can be bird, can be an aeroplane. So anything that flies in akasha. Okay. Because ka is space. So if a word ends with ga, then it is something that moves or goes in what is the word attached to that. Okay. Same way, if the word ends with ja, okay, like for example, you have words like ambuja, varija, vanaja. What does that mean if a word ends with a ja?
Born. It means born.
Okay, so it means born at or born of. Okay, so whenever say ambuja, varija, all those things are names for lotus, right? Because lotus is the most popular flower, I think, in India, at least in the older times. So the lotus has a lot of names. Generally, they start with the word corresponding to water, and then ja is added because it is born in water. Niraja, ambuja, and vanaja is any flower, like generally wild flower. Vari, Nira, all those things are different names for water. Another letter that can be added at the end is the. What is that mean? So when I put that tilde, that means a prefix to that, something added before that. A noun or modified form of a noun is before that. What is this the?
Give.
The is give, because there is a dhatu or verb root called da, long da to give. Okay, dane, to give. So da, if you have a noun and add a da at the end, then it's giver of whatever that is. Like for example, word varada, generally used for any god who grants you some boons. Okay, varam dadati iti varadaha. Okay, and then suppose I say nirada. What does that mean? What might that indicate?
Person who gives water.
Okay, maybe a person, maybe not a person, or one that gives water. Who gives water?
Clouds.
Clouds. Okay, so nirada is a word generally used for cloud. Where did we hear that? Somewhere we heard the words Nila Nirada Sundaram.
Sri Ramachandra Kripalu.
Yes. So Nirada is cloud. Nila Nirada is a dark cloud. Okay, Nila Nirada Sundaram, because so Nirada, Varada, things like that.
Shubhada.
Shubhada. So yeah, you might come across some words like that. If it ends with da, it's most likely, if the word before that, before the da, is a meaningful noun, then it is a giver of that. Okay. Similarly, there are words ending in sha. Okay, this is not isha. There are a lot of words ending with isha. I am talking about just the one syllable sha. Okay. So the sha is one who lives in or sleeps in. Okay, like for example, Shiva sometimes is called Girisha, not Girisha. Okay, Girisha is Giri plus Isha is generally referred to for Himalaya or Himavat. But Girisha, because Shiva stays in Giri or Parvata, so that is one of the things. He has a name like Girisha, short E. Then Pa, ending with Pa, like Nripa. This is Pullinga. Nripa is the protector of.
Krupa. Krupa.
No, kripa is different. It is long a.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's kripa. It is a noun. That is not because of the protector of something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, kripa is totally different meaning. And comes
Mm-hmm.
from a different source.
Tapa.
No, not that. So because for that you have the word indicated by the tilde has to be a meaningful noun. Okay,
Okay.
then only you can have protector of that. Okay, Nripa is a good example. Nr is man or person. Nripa is protector of people. So generally Nripa word is used for the kings. Okay.
But pati also, right?
Huh?
Pati.
Yeah, pati also, because even the pati, word pati comes from being a protector in that sense. Okay, then the word starting with the su. Su is something like good. The prefix su is similar to eu of Latin. Okay, something easy, good. And the words starting with sa, we already talked about. Sa means along with or with, like sabala, with the strength. Okay, and what do we say? You might have seen in the invitations, like wedding invitations back in India. Saparivara sameta means along with the relatives, they invite people. Okay, and word like sodara, sa udara means they came from the same mother, so brothers. Okay, things like that. So a single syllable either at the end or before a noun can give a meaning that might need more than a word to explain. Okay. Any questions on this slide? Not, we'll go to the next page.
Not clear. You did not give example of su, words with su.
Oh, okay. That's like word.
Can we use Sumedha, Sucheta?
Yeah, I knew a lady by name Sunetra. What does Netra mean? Netra we know.
Eyes.
Eyes. So maybe Sunetra means a lady with beautiful eyes. Okay. And if you say Sunetra, short, then it might mean just a beautiful eyes. Okay. Whereas you make it feminine, then most likely, generally, ladies sometimes have that names indicating that Sunetra with the beautiful eyes.
Sushil.
There are a lot of girls' names. Supriya,
Yes.
Sunita,
Yes, exactly. So,
Sucheta.
yeah. A lot of the female and male names starts with Su, because Su is like indicating a good, beautiful, Shubha, all those things. A positive suffix.
Do is bad.
Du, yeah, duhu is bad. Okay. Bad or kind of impossible or hard to. Okay, sometimes it is bad, sometimes hard to. Like for example, word Durga is difficult to cross over. Okay, and then you have the.
What is Sushila? Sushila.
Okay, Sheila is behavior or character or conduct. Okay, so one with good Sheila. You know the word Sheila.
Yes.
Okay, now Sushila is good Sheila. But if you make it feminine, then it will be the lady with good Sheila. Okay, and we will talk about this kind of words where you have two words, Su and Sheila combination. Okay, so we will discuss this, how they get their meaning in book 3 when we come to samāsas. Okay, let's go to the next slide. All right, now we are into the letters. Okay, we talked about earlier, there are swaras, vowels, vyanjanas, consonants, and two other things called ayogavahas, which are like anuswara and visarga. So this is like a brief description in a tabular form. This is about the swaras. Okay, and we are going to discuss in a lot more detail about this in the first part of book 2. Now, whenever a sound comes out of our mouth, in Saṁskṛta, there is very well defined place of articulation. What is the place of articulation? Whatever the part of our human voice system that can affect the sound as the listener hears. That is point of articulation. Now, on the right side here, you see there's a sketch. So this is to indicate the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of articulation in the human voice system. Okay. So based on these points of articulation, both the vowels and consonants, they are classified based on this point of articulation, or they're called, I think, point of modulation. In Sanskrita, it is pretty short. That point is called sthanam. Okay, so sthana, the point of articulation. So as you can see here, the number 1 is way back. It is the kantha or throat. Okay, so that is like we are going from, as the phonetics or shiksha, according to the Shiksha Shastra, the sound originates where? Where does the human sound originate?
It's a throat, correct? And it comes out.
Okay, so the sound originates from the brain. So there has to be, there is a control from brain, there has to be an order from the brain to the voice system. Then what happens is the diaphragm pushes the air out through the lungs, from the lungs, and that comes out through the mouth along all these places. So till it reaches the throat, you haven't heard anything yet. Okay? After that, so throat is the first point of articulation. So throat, the Sanskrita word is kantha. So all those sounds, vowels or consonants, that are modulated at the throat or kantha, they are called kantyas. Okay? So those sounds which are modulated at kantha are called kantyas. The English name for them is gutturals. Okay? So the next one is roof of the mouth. So that's English, the Sanskrita name for that is talu. That part of the mouth, like more towards the back, not the front part, top and the back part of the roof of the mouth is called talu. So those sounds, those letters which are modified or modulated by talu, they are called talavya. Okay, you can see that talavya is derived from the word talu. Talu is the organ or that point in the human mouth. So next, number 3 is the front roof of the mouth, which is called murdha. Okay, and murdha has multiple names. Murdha is the sounds or the letters that are produced or modulated at murdha, they are called murdhanyas. Okay, and there are 3 English equivalents. Those sounds are also called cerebrals and also called retroflex. The retroflex because while pronouncing that, the tongue has to roll backwards, retro. Okay, and retroflex is a good name because retro, the and R. All the three letters are retroflex. Okay, you'll see that in the Vyanjana part. And we talked a little bit about the retroflex when we are talking about the transliteration rules. All the retroflex are indicated by an underdot. Okay. The next articulation point is dantas. Danta is not necessarily teeth, but it's like a base of the teeth, the inside base of the teeth. Okay. So that is danta, dantaha is plural, whereas kanta, talu, murda, they're all singular because there's only one, whereas dantas are many. So the sounds that are modulated by the danta or at the dantas, they are called dantya. Okay, it's like a tata, dada, na, and sa. The next, as you come forward, next point of articulation is oshtau. Oshtau is lips. Okay, this is dvivachana. Like kanta is ekavachana, single, talu is ekavachana, murda is ekavachana, dantaha bahuvachana. Ostau is dvivachana because we have two lips. So the sounds that are modulated at the lips are called oshtyas. Okay, English word labials. And then there are some sounds like ma, na, nya, nga, all those things. Those are partly nasal. So they are called anunasikas because the nose is involved in pronouncing those. Okay, those are the nasals. Those are the 6 points of articulation or points of modulation in the human voice system. We will, because it's 7 o'clock, we will talk about those or classify those, both swaras and vyanjanas. Okay, I will gradually go on mentioning the Saṁskṛta names so that you get used to those. So both the swaras and vyanjanas, we will talk about those things in the next 1 or 2 classes. So starting with the swara. Okay. Any questions before we close?
Do we have a class on next Tuesday? Because it's like a new year, Diwali and New Year.
I didn't even know. How about what does the class feel? If there's going to be too many people absent because of that, then maybe we'll declare a holiday.
Okay.
But if it's just a few people, then I think we will continue because we covered some grounds.
Okay. Thank you.
I have one question. Is there an online dictionary, Sanskrit?
So there are several online dictionaries. Maybe I will put some links in the miscellaneous in our Google Drive.
Okay, thank you.
Some of the websites. Okay, let's do our concluding prayers. Join me with the prayers on mute. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid bhaveet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityo ma mritangamaya. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Jagdish.
Thank you, Jagdish. And please let us know whether there is class. I don't mind. I would want to join.
I think we will have a class.
Okay,
Not,
thank you.
I will inform in the WhatsApp group.
And also email.
Yeah, I think, okay, let's see.
Okay. Thanks. Good night, Ji.
Good night.